Yo, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm gonna go through our management software, Monday.com, and how we use it in our development group to keep everything on track, to keep us efficient, to keep all of our files and our data storage, and all of that in one centralized place to minimize communications and up efficiency. So that is what we're gonna do in this episode. It's not gonna be particularly exciting, but it's definitely gonna help you if you've got any aspirations to run a business, especially a property development one. Let's go. Okay, so this is Monday.com, and we've been using this from almost the very start of our business. By about the third or fourth project, I started using this religiously. And what it did, the second we started using Monday, we could see our business. You could see the systems, you could see the task management for the projects, storing all the files in a central place. Absolutely fundamental if you want to build any kind of business, but especially property development, where there's lots of tasks and lots of things over prolonged periods that you need to account for, remember, and store away. But any business needs this sort of software. So what we've done now, and I've revamped this system many times, whilst trying not to change the format too much, so that we don't, piss off all of our staff who then have to go learn a whole new system. So I've really vamped it up recently with a lot of automation, a lot of back-end heavy lifting to stop staff, our day-to-day staff members having to think of new functionalities and more things for them to do. So instead I've refined it. So it's just our two admin girls, so Lynn and Catherine, who deal with the back-end side of this, and then everyone else's data entries become much simpler. And I will show you that. So this is our project lifecycle, and this is our main board. It is the view of the whole business. And I am going to have to obviously blur the screen because there's a lot of sensitive information that we hold within this software. So there's going to be quite a few blurry bits, but I'm just going to show you the structure. So the project lifecycle is showing from end to end, from the point that we secure the property for the client all the way through to letting it on the back end. What is the project lifecycle? What are the different statuses and stages that we need to capture, account for, and show the rest of the team so that all of our different departments that work on different parts of the project lifecycle understand what's coming up in their pipeline and where projects currently are. So these are line item entries for all of the projects, and I'll do a bit of scrolling down now. So these are our active sites. So active sites in the Tyneside region, so up in the Newcastle region. And then here's the other active sites in a different region, the Teesside region. And we do have a couple other bits in other areas that are now completed, and they are all down here. So completed projects through to our own portfolio projects as well. And we have another board of developments that were done before I set up this new system. But this gives us basically a snapshot of all of our work. And the project lifecycle works like this. So you have the item, which is the address, and then the location again, which is the address. The reason we've duplicated it is because this is an item column, which a lot of the automated emails and stuff can draw from, and the location column actually shows you in a view. So you can go onto you can create views on Monday to see data illustrated in visual formats, and the location to show us on a map where all of our properties are and things like that, which is useful. Then we've got client's full name, client's first name, client's email, solicitors, SPV, who the agent is and the contact at the agent, the purchase price, our fees, purchase type, conveyancing, the type of property, description of the property works, GDVs, costs, planning timeframes, funding, construction, whether it's cash or bridging finance on the purchase, and then the duration for that bridging, and then memos. And this point here at memos is where, so everything before that is all manually entered before the system starts running. So all of that has to be entered by the sourcing agent. So whoever sourced it, whether it's me, Steve, or anyone else in the business, generally it's going to be me or Steve. We have to put all of that in first. And what that does is allows for all of the data to be centrally stored, and then the automations and the communications between departments, when they receive emails, it can pull from all of that data to give them the relevant information to stop them having to come onto the system and go and find all of that info manually. So that's obviously very useful. And I've represented, actually, I'll just show you the rest of this first. So this is the full project lifecycle. You've then got instructing architects, surveys, design packages, pre-construction tender, build team, completion set for the purchase, completion, buildings insurance, completion date, purchase, sourcing, project management fee, the second half of it, which is due upon completion of the purchase, construction starting, the build schedule, actual completion. Some of these are blank because we need to go back through and update them with the new system, and also some of them just aren't into construction yet. So you see it starts to tether off towards the end because these aren't finished projects. And then you've got the handover, the refi mortgage, the lettings and the lettings ad, valuation and GDV on the back end of these projects. So there's a lot of different component parts to managing these projects. And these are just high level. This is just high level stuff. So that at each of these statuses, it kind of moves on to a different person within the business that's then dealing with the building's insurance on behalf of the client, or dealing with the purchase completion with the solicitors and the conveyancing. So they has to be handed over through that process. And there are email prompts that go through every part of the state, all of the statuses and the departments, to make sure that everyone knows what their next actionable items are. And that is what I've been building, is to make it as automated as possible, so that it doesn't leave for people to have to remember to update things. They'll always be prompted to. So that is the project lifecycle end to end at a high level. And then we have the different sourcing views, the different Monday views. So then up here, we've got a sourcing view. So this is just relevant for the sourcing department. They only need to see and know about this stuff. And then the durations view is a high level again on just durations. So you can quickly see a snapshot where a project is for its different durations, whether that's the conveyancing, whether that's the bridging, the planning, the build schedule. It's all just here at a snapshot. So you don't have to dig through the whole project life cycle. You can constrict it to just smaller view windows. And then the design and construction team and what they need to be privy to. And then the administrative view, so what the admin guys need to be able to pick up on. So it's quicker ways for them to get to their work stuff, basically. And then the lettings view on the back end. And that is our project life cycle. You can then see up here, there's all these automations. So all of these automations are, although it shows 16 automations, there's actually more like 50 or 60 different emails, because at different points in the life cycle, there's then maybe 5 or 6 different emails going out to different people to action different parts of the process. Like when Memos is received, once Memos is received, that's like the ignition for our process starting to kick into play. So that's our high-level management system, the project lifecycle, snapshot of the whole view, and giving us all the data we need to draw from for automated emails. So to give you an idea as well of how useful that is, let's say buildings insurance, for example. If I go to the admin view, I'm going to go and find buildings insurance. There it is. So, whether we're doing it or whether the client is doing it, whether it's stuck or whether we're working on it. And then if it's we're doing it, then Lynn on administration will know at that point she needs to change it from we're doing, if it reads we're doing, to email template. She'll then get an email template that pulls all of the data for that property and everything she'll need to know to give to the broker. The email template's already pre-populated. So all she needs to really do is sense check it, copy, paste, stick it in a new email, copy and paste the emails that I've put in. So for CCing the client in, CCing the broker in, and pasting that into the email dashboard, whether that's Gmail or whatever email server you might be using. And then she just sends it. So it eliminates human error, eliminates human intervention by as much as possible. We still want to sense check certain things. So rather than just going straight to the broker, we'll make sure it goes to Lynn to sense check it first. But she doesn't have to go and find all that data. She just has to read through it, make sure it's all right, and then send it off to the broker. Same with the bridging finance, same with the mortgage broker, same with some other parts of the project lifecycle as well, instructing architects and things like that. So it's reducing workload, improving efficiency, and minimizing human error. So we've got that as a project lifecycle, but then every project has its own tasks. And here is the task template. And what this does, again, still somewhat at a high level, but it breaks down the individual project into different sections, different phases. So you've got the sales details initially, so things that we need to capture. Then we've got the memos. So when we get memos, the different parts need to go out to our client. We've then got the planning documentation that needs to be captured, the initial site survey and all the bits we need to pick up there, the property purchase and all the particulars associated with that, the design package, the construction team, what they need to do at high level. Our construction software is a separate software. So this software prompts them to have to go and do certain tasks on that software, but then that actually runs the construction phase. So Monday doesn't run construction. It gives a high level for the reporting and things like that. Certifications on the back end, hand over to lettings, make sure certain items are ticked off. Then there's the lettings process, then there's a refinance process. So these are broken into different parts, assigned to given team members. And then there's status columns and action columns. The action columns are giving the automated emails and prompts to either the client in this scenario. So if they change this action column to black, it will then email Catherine. Catherine knows to come in, sense check the line item, and then switch it to the numerical counterpart. So 2.1 to 2.1 Architects Digital Survey Plans, then sends a pre-populated auto email to the client, updating them on the process, giving them the file attachments, and again, eliminating the need for human intervention and human error, and keeping our clients more updated without needing to add workload. So there's different things here that are being done to ensure that the project individually is being updated, and most of our staff only have to focus on the job folders themselves, just these. There's also a finance folder as well, but that's pretty straightforward. It's just this, which is in other invoices and drawdown valuations. But the tasks are obviously much more specific and assigned to team members, dates, file attachments, all that kind of good stuff. And then there's automations happening in the back end here as well, teeing in Google Drive links and other bits like that. And between this then being the project specific tasks and the finances, then feeding into the project lifecycle, that is essentially how we run the business from a task management standpoint. And there's still more improvements we can make, but fundamentally, this is taking a lot of workload away from administrative tasks, keeping a lot more accountability, efficiency, centrally storing all of our data, which we can then search and find for nice and easily, and reducing communications between departments, because that can waste a lot of time in a business. So we're trying to reduce that as much as possible, so that you can just see the active updates. And anyway, that's the new system, game changer. And we'll continuously keep improving this as time goes on. And obviously this is just for the projects themselves. We also have a sourcing page for all the sourcing department, a construction page for the construction durations, and other parts within Monday, file storage, the lettings has its rent rolls and its portfolio to look after. So we have a lot of different boards on Monday, but the main thing that's managing the actual process is these job-specific templates that you can see in front of me and the project lifecycle that I showed you before. And that's it for this video. I hope that's been really useful for anyone watching. If you like it, then like, comment, subscribe, show me some love, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.